Once we get to this fish of Pisces, we really start to bring in this entire energy of the sky here. It's very important to understand that while this constellation of Aries is located right in the center, the predominant themes in this portion of the sky are still feminine, maternal, and watery. Aries is almost certainly a very late addition to the zodiac. It's very small compared to the other constellations. It was called Luhunga, and it translates as the hired man. It did not look like a ram. It looked like a man who was a shepherd and was likely brought in to monitor the flocks in the springtime. However, just beneath Aries, and in this picture, you can see the moon is actually in the head of Ketis and not up here in Aries. This constellation and this deity, Tiamat, the primordial mother goddess, is far older, far more important, and much more powerful, and will dominate your chart. Additionally, this fish of Pisces and the deity up here known as Nanshe, which can basically be seen now in Andromeda, were all females. They were all mother goddesses, and this was a very feminine, nurturing, maternal constellation. Any association with Aries and stubbornness or anything to do with a ram is completely erroneous. Now, this portion of the sky is still very creative, but this creativity is coming out of the primordial mother goddess down here in the head of Tiamat. This fish of Pisces was predominantly more spiritual and more psychic of the two parts of Pisces. Thus, this remains an extremely spiritual, very primordial karmic part of the sky. And all of this is echoed with Anunnatuum being present up here. Strong Aries in a chart, which is not Aries at all, but rather Anunnatuum and Tiamat, will result in a lot of creative power, a lot of natural psychic ability, and spiritual connections. It is very creative, but in a very raw and untamed way. While most females don't have a hard time with some of this deeper, darker, chaotic feminine energy, it has proved in the past to be very frightening to males in particular, which is why in the Babylonian record, they worked so hard to make Tiamat look as terrifying as they possibly could. A moon in Aries, or Tiamat, indicates that in order to live your absolutely best life, to be complete body, mind, and spirit, you must accept your role as a creator. This can be very difficult because you may not be a maintainer and you may not be a finisher, and that's okay. You didn't come here to complete. You came here to create. As you can imagine, this is really hard for a lot of people in modern society to accept, because in many respects, you're told that your value is based upon what you can produce and accomplish. You may not have come here to accomplish anything. Your power, your soul, your contentment lies in your creative potential. Now, there are ways to see what you should be creating and what you can do with this energy, but that will be dependent on other elements of your chart.